The dairy industry has been under fire for the last 2 weeks after a scathing report came out about how much milk is wasted in Canada. Since then, our Michelle Maluske has been trying to get reaction from the sector, only to hear silence. She joins us now with a look at how this system, Michelle, is managing milk.
Ricardo, public awareness about milk dumping kind of ramped up last winter when an Ontario dairy farmer recorded and posted his reality.
They make us dump it. And no matter how we stand up, so this time I'm going public. I want the people to see the pain that us growers have of 365 days. As a little boy, we grew up on a dairy farm, came from Europe, work, and here we are. This is what's happening.
That's Jerry Hugan from Dunnville, Ontario. He posted that video in February 2023, saying he's forced to dump about 30,000 liters of extra milk at the end of that month because of government regulation. He, like thousands of dairy farmers, pay for a quota to make milk in this country. They don't get paid if their cows produce a surplus. Now, after that video was released, two environmental scientists, one from the US and one from Denmark, reached out to Sylvain Charlebois, affectionately known as the food professor from Canada's Dalhousie University, wondering how could this be happening. So together, they took the number of dairy cows in Canada and estimated up how much milk the average cow will produce in its lifetime. That number was compared to the milk that was sold in this country for the same year. The result? The researchers found a staggering 7% of milk can't be accounted for. It's a $14 billion loss to the economy and a valuable food product that could have been used to help millions of Canadians, according to the researchers. So, Ricardo, it's been a challenge to get reaction. A local dairy farmer referred all of my questions to the Dairy Farmers of Ontario. They deferred me to the Dairy Farmers of Canada, who didn't have a single person available for an actual interview. Same goes for the Canadian Dairy Commission. In a written statement, the CDC denies the problem is as big as the study would indicate. The Canadian Dairy Commission says just 1% of milk is thrown away, and only as a last resort. A new study indicates it could be 7 times higher.
It's much easier to turn on the tap, away from cameras, in barns, away from prying eyes. Just dumping milk is less costly, it's less complicated.
Charlebois believes the CDC should make dumping illegal, and the agency should be forced by government to find a way to utilize any extra milk.
It's totally normal to have surpluses. What is not normal in Canada is not to have a strategy to manage surpluses, and we should.
Charlebois also believes farmers should be allowed to sell their milk raw and unprocessed, or Canada should do more to find new domestic producers to make infant formula or yogurt in this country. Economist Ian Lee believes supply management should be abandoned altogether.
We're the only country now in the world with supply management.
Lee thinks if we did, the cost of milk could be cut in half, acknowledging government might still have to provide subsidies to the sector.
So if governments want to intervene for whatever policy reason, it's much better to subsidize the firm or the activity rather than fixing or regulating the price.
The federal government, meantime, appears to remain committed to supply management.
With USMCA, CUSMA, the Americans certainly want more access to the market. We need to make sure that we're protecting that industry, and our government has been very strong on that position.
Finally here, the Dairy Farmers of Canada did not reply when I circled back and asked them if they will be validating the research data. But after some back and forth emails, the CDC did tell me they're in the process of looking at the data contained in the research paper. Whether or not it leads to any changes remains to be seen. Ricardo?
Okay, Michelle, interesting report there. Thank you for that. That's CTV's Michelle Maluske tonight.
Welcome.